How to Write in Third Grade, Volume 6 of 7. An informational essay, a biography of a famous person. Time needed, 5 periods, 30 minutes apiece, including a visit to the library. Materials needed, chart paper, blank paper, persuasive paragraph worksheets, class writing paper, and a list of famous people from social studies, science, and popular culture. Teacher background. So far we have worked on 2 forms of structured writing, the narrative and the persuasive. Today we're going to begin the 3rd kind of writing we'll do this year. It's an informational essay. We're going to read and write about famous people. The first thing we'll do is brainstorm. Start by creating a list of 5 famous people that you would like to know more about. Check with your teacher for a list of people that you are studying in science or social studies if you need some suggestions. Now that you have your list, arrange your list of people from 1 to 5. Put a 1 next to the person you would like most to know more about. Put a 2 next to the person that you would next like to know more about. Continue this way with 3, 4, and 5. Not all of these people will have books in the library that can be used as a primary source. If there is no book on person number 1, then you can look for a book on person number 2. A profile of a person is called a biography. If you write a profile of yourself, it is called an autobiography. You are going to write a biography of someone from your list. The goal in this writing piece is to write a 5-paragraph profile of a famous person. Look at your biography worksheet. It has 3 areas. The first is facts about their early life. This is where you'll put information about their early life. The second area is where you'll put facts about why they are famous. The third area is where you put all the other interesting facts that don't really go in the first 2 areas. Don't copy the sentences from the book. Instead, write short fragments that you will later use to write your own sentences. For example, a book about Amelia Earhart could have sentences that say, Amelia Earhart had one younger sister named Grace. From an early age, Amelia was the ringleader, while her younger sister, nicknamed Pidge, acted the dutiful follower. In the area for facts about their early life, you might write, one younger sister, Grace, nicknamed Pidge, played a lot together. This would allow you to write your own sentences later when you write your piece. In another part of the book, it could have sentences that say, at the age of 34, on the morning of May 20th, 1932, Amelia Earhart left the United States and flew across the Atlantic Ocean. In the area for facts about why they are famous, you might write, crossed Atlantic, May 20, 1932, 34 years old. Another example is, Abraham Lincoln served as the 16th president. He led the United States during its Civil War. He was assassinated in April 1865. In the area for facts about why they are famous, you might write 16th president, during Civil War. In the area for other interesting facts, you might write assassinated in April 1865. Start reading your book or books from the library. Keep your biography worksheet handy and write down facts as you read. You're not searching the book looking for these facts. Instead, you're reading the books, and as you read them, if you come across facts that fit into these areas, you put them down. Remember, you must have 9 facts in all before you can start writing your piece. Informational writing is a series of paragraphs all on one topic. And the most important element of the informational paragraph is the topic sentence. The topic sentence tells the reader what information will be given in the paragraph. For example, one topic sentence for a paragraph in a biography could be, Teddy Roosevelt faced many challenges growing up. The reader now expects you to give information about what life was like for Teddy Roosevelt as a youth. Teddy was sickly and asthmatic as a child. Roosevelt had to sleep propped up in bed or slouching in a chair during much of his early childhood. He was often sick. All the facts in this paragraph are about his childhood. If instead you included a detail like, he was our 26th president, the reader would be confused. Being president has nothing to do with his growing up. Your paragraph is not predictable to your reader. Your reader expects to hear about growing up and not about Teddy Roosevelt as an adult. Informational paragraphs are also organized with a signal at the end of the paragraph that tells your reader you are done talking about this topic and that the paragraph is finished. Teddy Roosevelt had a hard childhood. This ending signal sentence sounds a lot like your topic sentence, doesn't it? It completes a circle. You ended your paragraph at the same place you began. Your reader will now expect you to start a new paragraph and a new topic. Notice the topic sentence and the ending signal sentence do not provide specific details. They are broad and allow plenty of room in the paragraph for the details. An image often used is a sandwich. There is bread on the top and on the bottom. The meat and cheese and all the condiments are the details in the middle. This image also suggests that the topic sentence and the ending signal sentence could be switched and the paragraph would still make sense. Try it with our Teddy Roosevelt paragraph. Teddy Roosevelt faced many challenges growing up. Teddy was sickly and asthmatic as a child. He had to sleep propped up in bed or slouching in a chair during much of his early childhood. He was often sick. Teddy Roosevelt had a hard childhood. And if we switch them, Teddy Roosevelt had a hard childhood. Teddy was sickly and asthmatic as a child. He had to sleep propped up in bed or slouching in a chair during much of his early childhood. He was often sick. Teddy Roosevelt faced many challenges growing up. See, it works both ways. Before you begin, take a look at your biography worksheet. Are there at least 9 facts? Are there at least 3 in each of the areas? If not, go back and find more facts in the books that you were reading. Take a sheet of the class writing paper. Write your name and date. In the writing skills section, write 5 paragraphs. Topic and ending signal sentences. 9 facts. The first paragraph of your essay has to introduce the topic. The topic has 2 parts. It includes the name of the person you are writing about, and it has to tell the reader you are writing a profile or a biography. Make up a sentence or sentences that gives both pieces of information. For example, I could say, my biography is of Abraham Lincoln. This is something a young writer would do. I could also write something longer like, I read a lot about Abraham Lincoln. He was an interesting man. I want to share some of the things I learned. This is an example of something an older writer might do. Both examples tell the reader what you are doing in the writing piece and whom you are going to write about. Remember to say the sentence or sentences silently in your head before you write it down. Does it sound right? Is it a complete thought? If I simply said, "It's Abraham Lincoln," the reader would wonder, what's Abraham Lincoln? I didn't tell them I was writing a biography or that I would be giving information about Abraham Lincoln. You write your opening sentences. The next paragraph is going to contain all of the facts about your person's early life. The first sentence of an informational paragraph is called a topic sentence. It signals to your reader what's coming up. It tells them the topic of the information that they are going to read about. One way is to say, "This is what I learned about Duke Ellington's early life." A more interesting way is to make a general statement based on what you've learned. Duke Ellington grew up in a happy family. Both of these sentences signal to your reader that you are going to give information about his early life, but they don't provide specific details. Write your signaling sentence for this paragraph. Teddy Roosevelt faced many challenges growing up. That's your topic sentence. The reader now expects you to give information about what life was like for Teddy Roosevelt as its youth. As part of this paragraph, write all of the sentences you've gathered about his early life. This might be 2 sentences, or it might be 6. Teddy was sickly and asthmatic as a child. Roosevelt had to sleep propped up in bed or slouching in a chair during much of his early childhood. He was often sick. Remember to say your sentences silently in your head before you write it down. Does it sound right? Is it a complete thought? The last sentence of this paragraph signals to your reader that you are done talking about this topic. It could be as simple as, "That's all I know about his early life." A more interesting signal reminds the reader of the first sentence in your paragraph. You can see Teddy Roosevelt had a hard childhood. Both sentences signal to your reader that you are done giving information about his early life. The informational paragraph that you've written began with a topic sentence. You then had sentences providing facts about his early life. You then signaled to your reader that you were done with this topic about his early life. You want to repeat this structure in the paragraphs about facts that made them famous and other interesting facts. The third paragraph is about what made your person famous. Again, the first sentence, the topic sentence, must signal to your reader what you have planned for the paragraph. It can be as simple as, "Alexander Graham Bell is famous as an inventor." It can be more interesting. "Alexander Graham Bell worked his whole life on the invention that would make him famous, the telephone." Now, as part of this paragraph, turn the facts about why they are famous into sentences. Again, this might be 2 sentences, or it might be 6. Remember, say the sentences silently in your head before you write them down. The last sentence of the paragraph should signal to your reader that you are done talking about this topic. An interesting signal that reminds the reader of the first sentence is, "Alexander Graham Bell is famous today for his work on the telephone." The fourth paragraph is a place where you can write all of the things you've learned that don't fit into the first 2 paragraphs. Begin this paragraph with a sentence that signals to your reader that there is going to be all kinds of information. "Here are some more interesting facts about Abraham Lincoln." Or, "I learned lots of other things about Amelia Earhart." Then write sentences from all of the facts that don't fit the topics of the first 2 paragraphs. End your paragraph with a signal that the paragraph is over. Amelia Earhart was an interesting person. Your last paragraph needs to signal to your reader that you are finished. One way to signal that your essay is over is to use words and phrases from your opening paragraph. When the last paragraph sounds like the opening paragraph, that's a signal to your reader that you're done. Now that your piece is finished, read it back to yourself. Does it make sense? Do the sentences sound like complete sentences? Did you write 5 paragraphs? Did you use topic and ending signal sentences? Did you include 9 facts? If there's a problem, go back and fix it. Good job.